A scarf is a great idea until you put it on, and then you just don't feel like yourself, or you feel like it overwhelms you, overwhelms the outfit. So before you leave the house, you dump that thing. You probably have a bundle of scarves in your wardrobe that you rarely wear, am I right? I know I have in the past, but I've learned a few things about wearing scarves. Today I'm going to share 5 different types of scarves with at least 2 or 3 ways to wear each one. There's no point in overwhelming us with multiple ways to tie a scarf. I've also got some big tips to help you feel comfortable and look stylish in scarves this winter. Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Kay and this is Dress for My Day. My goal really is just to help women over 50 to get dressed for our day in a way that feels authentic to who we are, that fits our real lifestyle, but also looks stylish. I think it's important to stay modern and current, but also a little classic, right? We want to stay true to our personal style and we want to keep showing up looking our very best. We still have so much to contribute, ladies, so let's keep showing up bright and beautiful. This is my final video for 2025, and I thought it would be fun to talk about how to style scarves for the winter. Scarves are really back in a big way. I'm seeing them everywhere. The most stylish women are definitely sporting scarves, but it's one of those things that I kind of have like a love-hate relationship. I love to buy them. I think they're absolutely beautiful, especially a beautiful cashmere scarf or a silk scarf, just so luxurious. And I'm drawn to them, so I buy them. And then I get frustrated because I don't know how to wear it. And also in the past, when I've looked at myself after I put a scarf on, I just thought, whoa, this is just so much. And I just look like, here comes the scarf. Know what I mean? I think we see other women in scarves and we appreciate them. We think, oh, she looks so beautiful, so stylish. I want to look like that. But when we put one on ourselves, we somehow feel disingenuous. But here's tip number 1, is that actually right now in 2025, simple is prevailing. I mean, we are still in that understated, quiet, elegance theme right now. And really one of the ways to achieve that style aesthetic is to go simple. So I think that while there may be so many, like 101 different ways to tie a simple scarf, I really think it's important to stick to the most simplest ways to tie a scarf. You don't want to look overcomplicated. Let's start with the scarf I'm wearing right now. This is a silk scarf. I think it's from Lily Silk a few years ago, and it is about a 66 centimeter scarf. I think it's important to know the lengths because of course you can do different things with different length scarves. For this one, I have simply tied what we're calling kind of a cowboy bandana look. I have doubled it over into a triangle, and then I have taken those loose ends back towards my back and brought them back around towards the front with that wider part of the triangle at the front, of course. Then I just tied the double knot over that triangle, and then I just situated it, I poofed it up a little bit. You know, I tried to kind of flay out the ends here a little bit, tried to make it where the underside of the scarf isn't showing too much. But you know, don't worry about it too much. Things don't have to be perfect. That's tip number 2, really, is don't expect perfection and don't try to achieve it. In fact, that little bit of imperfection is really chic. It looks like, hey, she put in some effort, but she's a busy woman. She's got more to do than just doodah in front of the mirror all day, right? This particular style works really nicely with a button-up shirt, of course, like I'm doing here. I've popped my collar, but it also works really great with a crew neck sweater or a V-neck sweater. In fact, I'm going to be showing you the rest of the scarves with sweater and jean combos, keeping it really simple here. First, let's go with a long, thin scarf. So this is your basic long scarf that is, it's a cotton. This particular scarf is from Anthropologie early in the season. Not sure if it's still available, but I'm sure I can link you something similar if it's not. It is a long cotton and linen blend, I do believe, scarf. So it's nice and lightweight, but still, if fitted close to the body, it is going to give you some warmth. It definitely is going to add interest to your outfits. Now, another tip for your scarves is I like to keep my steamer up all the time. I keep it on a hook in my guest bedroom, so it's always ready. And I just like to steam my scarves the day before I think I'm going to wear them. Generally, you don't want to steam a garment right before you wear it because then when you go to put it on, you're wearing it, you're tying it and things, it can stretch out those fibers. So you don't want that. You really want to steam things ahead of time. So anyhow, you get this scarf nice and, you know, the way you want it. And then what I have done here for our first look is a very simple way to tie a scarf. The first one is what I'm calling a pretzel. I'm not really sure what it's called, but here you're going to double that scarf over. You're going to take one side, the doubled over side, I guess we'd call that the loop end, okay? You're going to take that around the back of your neck, pull it towards the front, so you have on one side you got your two loose ends of the scarf, the other side you've got the folded side. You're going to bring that loop in around, you're going to twist it one time. You're going to put one of those loose ends down into that hole. You're going to twist it again and put the other loose end into that hole. Then just zhoosh it into place a little bit, work with it. Once again, I like to keep it to where the printed side of the scarf, you know, the more prominent part of the side of the scarf is sticking out and you don't see that back side of the scarf. If possible, like I said, don't worry about perfection. And then you're just going to zhoosh it. The nice thing about this particular type of tie is that it lays nice and close to the body. It doesn't feel all poofy. And that's one of the things that I think kind of bothers us when we put a scarf on. It's like this appendage that we don't normally have. And so the poofier it is, the more it stands out from your body, I think the more overwhelming it feels and off-putting to us, you know what I mean? So this particular style, especially with this kind of scarf, is going to lay nice and flat to your body. You're not even going to know you have it on rest of the day, but it is going to give you some warmth and add some interest to your outfit. Here's another great way to tie that same scarf. This time I'm just going to put both ends behind me, going from the front, put them behind me, crisscross them back around, and then I'm going to take one end and put it into that front hole there, I guess we'll just call it a hole, and then take the other end and put it into that hole. So now both loose ends are up underneath that front loop. You can kind of zhoosh them around, you can move them around, you can tie them across each other, whatever you want to do. But once again, this particular type of scarf tied this way is going to lay nice and flat against my body, nice and flat against that sweater. So I don't even really feel like I have it on. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It's time for the next tip, which is keep your outfit simple. You're going to notice throughout, even in this outfit I'm wearing right now, I'm just wearing a crisp white button-down shirt with jeans and booties, really simple. And then in the other outfits, I'm wearing just great jeans and a great sweater, a solid sweater. Some of them are neutrals and some of them, one of them I think is a color. Two of them are a color. So, but keeping it very simple. I'm not adding any prints in here. I'm not adding a lot of accessories. I'm not tucking the sweaters. I'm keeping it very simple. So you want to keep the entire outfit simple because that scarf, you've got a lot going on and you don't want to overwhelm the outfit. My next scarf is a 90-centimeter silk scarf from Sarah Flint. This scarf is really a vignette. It has a lot going on and every corner is different. And maybe you have a scarf like that where it's really a picture and so every corner is different. So you want to kind of think about that as you're tying your scarf or as you're planning on how you're going to tie it. Pick which of the corners you want to wear with your outfit because probably every corner is different, featuring some different colors and different types of patterns. So think about that when you do fold your scarf. We're going to start with this one by just doubling it over into a triangle, a large triangle. This first tie is what we call a triangle knot. So again, you're going to have the big triangle in the front of you and loop the loose ends back and then back towards the front. You've crisscrossed them in the back, brought them back towards the front. And then you're going to take one of those loose ends and go up and over and into the hole of that triangle there. So into that space and then down through to the other side where the other loose end is. And then you're going to tie those two loose ends really in just a single tie. You don't even have to knot it unless that would make you feel more comfortable. But here I have not knotted it. I've just done a simple tie here underneath that big triangle there and just kind of zhoosh it up. You can make this as tight or as loose as you want to. A really beautiful French kind of style of way to wear your scarf with a sweater. Gives it a little bit of interest. You have a little motion there, but it's still very simple. The second way we're going to wear this scarf is the same way I have worn mine today, and it's that cowboy bandana. But this time, of course, we're using that larger scarf, this 90-centimeter scarf. So we're going to have a little bit more to play with. So once again, I've picked the front where I want, the corner that I want to be in the front, and I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to take that triangle and go around the back of my neck with those loose ends, back around to the front, and this time over the triangle, and tie those loose ends right around my neck into a double knot. And then I just kind of zhoosh it up a little bit, play with it a little bit. You can leave it hanging straight down to the front, or you can move it over to one side if you want to. But I really love it just in the front, just a really beautiful look. This also looks really nice, of course, under a jacket, and it would also look great under your winter coat. For the French twist, we're going to get that scarf nice and smooth by taking the pointy end of the triangle and folding it towards the straight end of the triangle. Then you're going to take that nice long scarf and take it towards the back of you, putting it around your neck from front to back, bring it back around, the two loose ends back around, pull those nice and even, and then take the part that's the loop that is around your neck, pull it out, maintaining the two ends really nicely, pull that out from your neck and twist. Then you're going to take one of the loose ends and go up and over and into that loop, and take the other loose end and go up and over and into that twisted loop. Underneath that, you're going to tie it off. You can tie it once, you can tie it twice. I think I tied this one twice here just to keep it secure. You can zhoosh it up a little bit. You have a really nice compact look. Once again, this is going to work really nicely under a button-down shirt like I'm wearing today, but it also works really nicely, I think, with a crew neck sweater or a V-neck sweater. And here's time for another tip, really, and that is, you notice I'm wearing all of these scarves with sweaters, but none of them are big, huge, chunky sweaters. We want to keep the profile low. So I'm wearing sweaters that fit fairly close to the body. They're not real thick, they're not real chunky, they don't have a lot going on. A couple of them are ribbed, one of them is going to be a cardigan you're going to see, but they're really low profile, close to the body sweaters, and I think that is important because the scarf itself is going to add a little bulk, and we don't want the sweater to be overwhelming. Now let's talk about another scarf. This is a 45-centimeter silk scarf, also from Sarah Flint, but maybe you have something very similar in your wardrobe. I know we all have so many scarves that we are not wearing, and we're going to rectify that. So this is a smaller scarf. It's about the same size as a bandana. It's smaller than the one I'm wearing, so I can't wear it this way. It really is a little bit more limiting, but still so beautiful. You know, a scarf is versatile, but you don't have to be able to tie it multiple ways to enjoy wearing it. You can only tie it one way at a time anyhow, right? And one great way to wear it is simply what I call a simple knot. I'm going to fold the scarf over into a triangle. Then I am going to take the pointy end of the triangle and fold it in towards the flat end of the triangle so that once again I have a nice neat scarf to work with. You could go the other way if you like to do that. Once again, just kind of think about your scarf and what you're wanting to show. I'm going to just pull it around my neck and tie it into a simple knot. I'm going to zhoosh out those little ends a little bit, and I have chosen the ends that I specifically wanted to show. I think one has little green flowers and one has little pinkish purple flowers, and I went with the pinkish purple flowers here to go with the cardigan that I'm wearing. So very simple, but very impactful. That brings me to my next tip, and that is when it comes to accessories, go minimum. Generally, when I wear a scarf, I don't wear a necklace. Now, you could maybe wear a long pendant necklace with, if you were wearing a crew neck sweater here instead of a cardigan. If I was wearing a pullover and I was wearing that little simple knot tie in a scarf, then I could also wear a pendant necklace. But otherwise, I really would not add a necklace. And so all of these outfits, I'm just wearing my nice big chunky door knocker earrings and a simple bracelet, and that's it. So keep your accessories really minimal when you're wearing a scarf. Next, I changed back into that ivory sweater to show you another choice with a similar size scarf, and this though is a cotton bandana. bandana. I'm seeing a lot of these right now, and this is certainly a more casual scarf than the silk one, but it is the same size. It's that 45 centimeter scarf. So I'm kind of limited again, but that's simply okay. I'm going to show you my second way that I like to wear this. And remember, the silk scarf could be worn the same way as this one, and this scarf, of course, can be worn in that simple knot. But this time I'm wearing what I call a gangster bandana. I'm just going to take that triangle, take the two ends of the triangle and go to the back of my neck, and behind my neck I am going to tie it into a simple knot, leaving that little gangster bandana kind of look there in the front. Now I think that's really cool, it's really casual, and it works really nicely with a jacket worn over it. So I've put my suede jacket over this just so you can see how nicely it works with a blazer, but of course any other jacket would work really nicely here too, maybe like a bomber jacket or a leather jacket or something would work great too. But even by itself, I really like this, just a little gangster tie with a simple bandana. Finally, let's talk about your long cashmere scarves or wool scarves that you like to wear with your overcoat. So I'm going to be putting on my black overcoat, my wool blend overcoat. It's by Reiss. I think it might be still available, and if it is, I'll link it. You know, I'm going to link everything, ladies, in the description box below or up here for your convenience. I'm working with a gray cashmere scarf that I got at Nordstrom several years ago, but any long scarf, you know, that plaid scarf, that wool scarf, a cashmere scarf, just a knit scarf, whatever you work with. These are a few ways that you can wear it with your coat. First of all, if you're going for warmth, and I live in a place where it has been in the single digits lately and even below zero, so when you're going out and you need warmth, then to me the best way to wear that scarf is simply to lay it flat against your body, crisscross it and lay it flat against your body. Put your coat on, belt your coat. That scarf is going to look really beautiful peeking out from that collar, but it's laying flat against your body, doing what you really need it to do, which is keeping you warm. A second way to wear the scarf though is with a simple loop. You're going to just double the scarf over, take the looped side behind you and the two loose ends behind you, and then pull them towards the front. You're going to put one loose end in that loop and put the other loose end in there. Once again, this is going to lay nice and flat against your body still, and it's going to look really pretty also from the collar of your coat. So this is the one that I think is probably the best as far as keeping your neck really warm. And so if you're needing the warmth and the protection up around your neck, this is a tie that works really nicely. It looks neat. It looks like you know what you're doing. You look pulled together, but it's so simple. And then finally, once again, we're going to simply take that scarf, take it from the front to the back, pull it back around again. So you have a nice little area there in the front. You're going to take one of those loose ends, go up into that hole, take the other loose end, go up into that hole. Just play with it a little bit, you know, get it as close to your neck as you want to. If you're going to put your coat on, I'd get it close up to your neck so that you're going to get the warmth there, and then it's going to look really nice over with your coat over it. Those loose ends are going to tuck down. They can once again lay close to your body, providing the warmth that you need and keeping you really stylish. This way your coat does not look all bulky. The scarf is nice and neat, close to your body, doing what it's supposed to. Of course, it's a great way to add some color to your coat too, and to look really nice. I hope this has been helpful to you, these tips for how to feel comfortable and look great and stylish in your scarves, as well as just a few ways to tie each of the scarves that you may have in your wardrobe. Thanks so much for joining me today, ladies. I do have just a little bit of housekeeping that I want us to cover before I bid you Merry Christmas. First of all, I will be taking off the week of Christmas and New Year's, so I will see you in 2026. Secondly, I have turned on memberships here in my channel, and one of those membership levels, I think it's the second one, is for a Bible study that I will be teaching starting in January. It's a monthly study going for, I'm not really sure how long, either 6 months, 10 months, maybe the whole year. We're just gonna have to see. I'm just gonna be doing the study as we go. And that will include a live stream presentation that you'll only be able to see if you have that membership. But check out all of the memberships and the benefits that they have. I do have member-only videos coming up for that 3rd level, and I am actually going to have a member-only video in the next couple of weeks while I'm taking off, and I'll have more members-only videos in the coming months. But everything else here on Wednesdays, which is usually the day that I post my videos, is staying the same. You'll continue to get the same great content week after week, so you do not have to sign up for a membership unless you're interested in those additional benefits. Now, that top level membership does give you the ability to give me some real input on the upcoming videos. So if you're interested in being kind of an advisor to me and being a part of that editorial team, that is definitely the membership to join. All right, ladies, I do wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2026. Bye now.